I like that we're getting more depth to Azula. I've seen a lot of people complain about this and say that it's not in her character, that it's weird to make her a whiny child who's a bit jealous, but honestly I think it makes a lot of sense to make her a whiny child who's a bit jealous, because at the end of the day, that's who she is. I feel like we have this fixation to view Azula as older than she is because the voice actor was older, and Azula just acted older in the cartoon. We weren't really seeing that she was, at the end of the day, a child. More than anything, in the cartoon, we don't meet Azula until season 2, but we know that Azula was aware of Zuko and his hunt for the Avatar. What we don't know about Azula's character, though, is how she got to be the way she is. We know that Azula had a very strained relationship with her mother and that affected her later on. But we don't really know the depth of Azula's relationship with Ozai, and I think this is such an interesting relationship that wasn't really explored. Because Azula isn't a fully formed adult. She is very much a child who feels that she needs to prove herself as better than other people. And she does it in the cartoon show, and she does it in this show. She puts on a front of seeming like she's better than everyone else. But here we're actually getting to see where that comes from. And it being rooted in jealousy isn't a strange choice for me. I think it makes sense. If anything, it really explains her need to be better than Zuko in particular. And in the live adaptation, I feel like we're really getting the chance to see Zuko and Azula as mirrors to each other, because both of them feel they have to do things alone. They have to be the best alone or not at all. In this episode in particular, Zuko is so determined to find the Avatar on his own without anyone's help. But Azula also wants to achieve greatness alone or not at all. You can see how they are cut from the same cloth and how Ozai has affected them so greatly, but also how their current environments are shaping them now. Because the pressure on Azula is immense, and it's constant because she is always around Ozai, and yet she's trapped. Whereas Zuko has been banished for the last 3 years, and though he is still very much Fire Nation and still very much on his own mission to hunt down the Avatar, he does have a sense of freedom that Azula doesn't. He is experiencing the war firsthand. He is getting a chance to see both sides of the war and learning what that means. So we can already see how Zuko is becoming a much more conflicted character, whereas Azula is becoming much more hardened. Again, I think for all the faults of this new show, specifically with Katara, I do think that they are doing the Fire Nation characters such incredible justice.